Have you ever noticed something strange? The moment you stop chasing someone, they suddenly start noticing you. They check their phone. They wonder where you are. They start thinking about you. And the person who once seemed completely uninterested suddenly wants your attention.
But why? Did you suddenly become more attractive?
Did they suddenly change their feelings?
Not exactly. Something changed in the way their brain experiences your presence.
And once you understand it, attraction starts to make a lot more sense. Think about what happens when you're always available to someone. You reply instantly. You always start the conversation. You check on them constantly.
You make them the center of your attention.
At first it can feel romantic.
But over time, your presence can become predictable. And the human brain is naturally drawn to things that feel new,
Uncertain, or emotionally meaningful.
when someone knows they can have your attention whenever they want.
There is less reason to wonder about you. But when you stop chasing, something changes. There is suddenly space, and space creates questions. Why haven't they texted?
What are they doing?
Are they busy? Are they losing interest? Those questions can bring your presence back into their thoughts. But here's the important part. Stopping the chase doesn't mean playing games.
It doesn't mean ignoring someone on purpose. It doesn't mean disappearing for 3 days just to make them anxious.
That's manipulation. And manipulation might create temporary attention, but it doesn't create genuine connection. The real power comes from something much simpler. Having your own life.
Imagine someone who has goals.
Friends, hobbies, passions, and a life they're genuinely excited about. They enjoy talking to you, but they don't need your attention to feel valuable.
That kind of confidence feels different.
Because when you aren't desperately trying to be chosen, people get the opportunity to choose you naturally.
And curiosity starts to appear. What are they doing? Why are they so comfortable on their own? Why aren't they chasing me? That curiosity can turn into attention.
And attention can turn into emotional investment.
There's another psychological effect at work too.
It's called contrast. When someone is constantly around, their presence can become normal. You don't necessarily appreciate it because it's always there.
But when that presence becomes less frequent, you suddenly notice the difference. It's like the sound of a clock in a quiet room.
When the clock is ticking every second, you barely notice it.
But the moment it stops,
The silence feels loud. Distance can work in a similar way. It doesn't magically create attraction. It reveals whether there was something meaningful to miss in the first place. Because here's the truth.
if someone never enjoyed being around you, disappearing won't suddenly make them fall in love. But if you created genuine emotional experiences together,
Distance can give those memories room to come back.
they remember your laugh,
Your voice, the way you looked at them.
that conversation that lasted much longer than expected, that moment when they felt completely understood.
And even though you're not physically there,
The emotional memory can still be there.
that's why being memorable is more powerful than being constantly available. You don't need to talk to someone every hour to stay in their mind. Sometimes, one meaningful conversation can be remembered longer than 100 meaningless messages. So if someone starts pulling away, don't panic. Don't chase harder.
Don't send message after message trying to get their attention back. Take a breath, give them space, and return your attention to your own life. Work on your goals. Spend time with people you care about. Do something that makes you feel alive.
Because the goal isn't to make someone obsessed with you. The goal is to become someone who doesn't need to chase for validation. And there's a beautiful difference between those two things. When you stop chasing because you're playing a game,
You're still thinking about them every second. But when you stop chasing because you respect yourself,
something changes inside you.
you become calmer.
More confident, more independent. And that confidence is often far more attractive than desperation ever could be. So remember this.
Don't create distance just to manipulate someone into missing you.
Create a life that makes you comfortable when they're not around.
Be present when you're together.
Give them space when you're apart. Create memories worth remembering. And then let them choose.
Because the right person shouldn't need to be tricked into wanting you. They should want to come closer because they genuinely value your presence.
And if they don't,
That's not a failure. That's an answer. Your attention is valuable. Your time is valuable.
your presence is valuable. So stop chasing people who constantly make you question your worth. Build a life you genuinely love. Because when you're no longer afraid of losing someone's attention,
You finally become free to discover whether they were truly worth yours.
and sometimes
The moment you stop chasing them is the moment they finally realize they miss you.